So welcome back to the Apprentice One-to-One podcast. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and as I mentioned on other recordings, that's because stuff got in the way, life got busy, and some of these had to go on hold. The guest I've got with me on this one is a gentleman who's been very patient because he was due to come on a few months ago, so I've got to apologise for the small delay of several months in this happening, but it's brilliant to finally get this recorded, and I've got with me today Leah Clarke. And how are you, Leah?
I'm right, thank you. How are yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, cheers. Thanks very much for coming on and having a chat. The whole idea of these podcasts is to meet as many people throughout the industry as we can and see the different stories and backgrounds of how we all enter and work as electricians. And I think you've got another cracking story to add to the mix already of the people we've had on. So I'm looking forward to having a little chat with you this evening.
Yeah, definitely. So basically, I'll start off by saying that the journey that I followed, the first person I watched on YouTube was a guy named Nick Bundy. That was in 2018, but I didn't actually officially start my electrical journey until 2019 December. So I was looking at different routes to go by, and I was sort of off put by like the GCSEs because when I left school, I didn't leave with hard any qualification at all.
Yeah.
So and after the school I went to like a special needs school because I was born like premature by like 6 weeks. So like I went to a mainstream school up to like the age of like 6, and then moved me over. But the good thing is now I'm on the right path. I'm still trying to find an apprenticeship at the moment. I'm working as an electrical labourer for a good company doing industrial work. My background that I've got at the moment is I've worked in domestics, I've done commercial, and now I'm doing industrial. I'm not qualified yet. I'm still on the journey.
Brilliant stuff. Yeah, I mean, Nick's got a really powerful channel on YouTube. I'm not surprised you've been watching him. He's absolutely huge. And obviously, as you'll know, he's got his apprentice Adam. So seeing their journey together and how that relationship works is brilliant for us as viewers of that channel. And to hear you kind of taking that same journey yourself. So you're not actually on an apprenticeship as such. Are you doing college and then working a day job as an electrician's mate? Do I understand that right at the minute?
I work as an electrician's mate. Well, basically, I start from the beginning. The first company, can I say company's names? I think is that okay?
Yeah.
The first company I worked for was Pennant Electrical Services in Leicester. Now they did domestic, industrial, and commercial all three. But I only did commercial for 6 months, and then they promised me an apprenticeship. But obviously, because of my age, it's a bit different. I'm 29. So it's a bit, because my age is a bit different. So like when COVID came in, I got let go, and then I sent out 250 emails via like the NAPEC and NIC, the NIC guys. I mean, I got about 20 emails response back. I was working with one man's band. It promised me it works. Like, oh yeah, you can do this and that, whatever, for about a year, but it wasn't regular all the time. It was like 2 weeks here, 1 week there, sort of thing. And then when COVID finished, I sent some more emails out. And I've got this job that I'm doing now. It's on probation. It's industrial industry, and I've said, they're looking at routes to take, but I don't think I will get an apprenticeship. But I still would like to get an apprenticeship because I want to be a qualified spark and goals card. But I don't just want to be a spark. I want to be like a manager or supervisor as well. I'd get a gold card. So that's some things about that as well.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, that's a common experience you've got there. Certainly with people I've been speaking with through Apprentice One-to-One, there's loads of people out there who've, unfortunately lost the jobs in the last year or so, and it's pretty tragic. But you sound like someone who's been as resilient as you can be by sending those applications out and inquiries to try and find new work. So credit to you for that. And it sounds like you've had a little bit of success there and got yourself replaced. So that's really good, and that's self-responsibility on you right there, that you've taken those steps and you've done that. And now you can kind of hopefully press on, and if the opportunity comes, maybe get onto a proper apprenticeship place. Is that kind of what you're looking for, or are you happy in what you're doing?
Well, happy what I'm doing, but I personally think that to get an apprenticeship will be, even though, okay, I know people keep saying about the money, also, I'm not really bothered about the money. Like I want the experience. Like I want to learn it, all of it. You know, what I mean, like I want to, I want to do domestic, commercial, just I want to do all three. I want to learn like all sectors. I want to be like properly qualified. But as well, I do want to step into, after I've stepped into a qualified position, after I've qualified, which should probably take about 3 4 years time. I do want to like do like my position, a management position, sorry, or supervisor position, and then from there, do my company. Also, I'd like to start my own channel as well, so I can show people that, no matter what background you've come from, like, I was born premature. I mean, like, I hardly got any qualifications. I'm an adult learner. You can, whatever you take, I mean, you can do what you head to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's a brilliant mindset and outlook, and credit to you for that. You are dead right. You can put your mind to anything and make it happen. It's on us at the end of the day to make those efforts, isn't it? And you're out there doing that now. And yeah, you've got great goals there to get into a management position. You say you're 29 now, so if you want to be transitioning towards that as you become qualified in 2 or 3 years' time, you can really accelerate your career if you've got that drive and determination about you, which it certainly sounds like you have. So that's a powerful thing you've got right there already. That determination in yourself. So can I ask about your qualifications at the minute? Have you taken any exams or anything, or are you still on that journey that you're learning at
Well,
present?
I got back a little bit. 2019, I got missold. I say it's a short course, but a guy came around my house from New Trades Korea, who I never been before, and basically it's like a private, a private not course, and the man that came with a list of things, and at the time he said for the full course it's something like £8,000. £8,000 that includes your MVQ, AM2S, level 2, level 3 education, part P, 2392, inspection and verification, level 2 and 3. So me and my auntie sat down and I was like, I do want to do it all, but I don't want it to be a scam. So I'll say I read reviews, mixed reviews by different people. So I paid for my 8th edition, my part P and my 239 or 2392 inspection verification, which I'm still going for now at the moment. I've just booked the practicals for start September to do that, and hopefully I'll be doing, if I don't get the apprenticeship, I'll be doing an evening course, sorry. So at the moment, I haven't got no electrical qualification, I've just got experience at the moment with my ECS card and my CSCS card.
Yeah. So is your kind of goal now to work towards getting the gold card? Is that kind of what you want to attain? Is that what you're looking to achieve in the end?
I want to obtain. Well, I want to obtain my gold card, meet as many electricians as I possibly can, work with everyone as much as possible, and just learn different sections of the electrical trade. I don't want to be like I don't want to be lazy. I want to be like good, proper like spark. Like I want to be like really good.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Like, I'm making I want to make my goal. I do want to start a channel as well.
Yeah.
But obviously because I'm working now, I'm quite fun with having phones on the side. So I can't like get my phone out and sell. Hey, something because they're prohibited. Concrete plant I work for.
Yeah. So you've got explosive work environment there right away, haven't you? So you've got to be careful with stuff like that. And regardless, you don't want to spend time on your phone while you're supposed to be at work. So it must be a bit of a tricky one. And how did you find the actual short course then? You say you had that meeting with someone offering that training. Have you got along with it? Has it worked for you, or do you feel like it's left you a bit in limbo? What's your experience of it?
It's left me a bit in limbo because I'm dyslexic. I struggle with maths. Now, when I was doing my 2392 mock exam, I struggled with one of the principles. I was like, so I gave him a phone call. I mean, it just gave me a list of answers. I said, "No, I need answers. I want to know what I need to be doing." And then that didn't work. So I got some help from three of my friends who on the same course. And they're like, "Oh, you stick it." So I did. So I'm finding it okay, but I am also at college as well. I do like an evening course, Monday and Tuesdays, English and Maths, level 1.
Yeah.
But also, I need to get onto my level 2. I'm at level 3. I was told by the electrical tutor I need to do my level 1 and 2 in maths. That's also one of my goals. Like to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm quite busy. Yeah.
I imagine that's quite a challenge, especially like you say with dyslexia. I'm familiar with that myself, and following Nick on YouTube, you're probably aware that he's the same. I think there's quite a lot of people in the electrical industry who seem to have that in them for some reason. I don't know if that's a trait to lead us towards being electricians or not, but it certainly seems
Yeah.
quite common, I think, amongst us all. And it is a difficulty. You are right. So when we do have these, technical subjects we have to pass, and having basic English and maths, it can be a real difficult challenge. And when you're not in a college environment all of the time, especially through the COVID, I'm sure your college evening courses weren't running through all of that.
No,
It's
I did
difficult,
mine
isn't it?
online.
Yeah, it must be really, really difficult for you. And yeah, it's a really hard situation to be in. Has that course kind of been extended, or have you just had to plod along with it on an evening as normal?
Well, the course, the electrician course that I'm doing now at the moment is online with weekend practicals. I've only paid for the 8th edition Part P, my 2392 at the moment. It was extended till June. No, sorry, I was meant to finish Christmas just gone. I've been extended 6 months, and now I've passed everything I need to do. I just need to do my practicals. My practicals don't start till September, which altogether I've been probably doing this course for about 2 years. So it's kind of like it's pushing me back a little bit because in my head I've got like a goal that I want to make sure I qualify and pass everything by the time I'm like 32, 33. That's my main goal. You know what I mean? Sort of thing. I'd also do it while young. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're dead right. Have you looked towards the portfolio and the AM2? Are you aware of stuff that's involved with any of that? Have you been looking at it as yet, or is that
Yeah,
kind of on the back burner
I've
for now?
I've been watching. Obviously, I've been watching I've watched all of you guys' videos. I've also been watching a guy named Adrian. I think it's Adrian, the electrician guy. I think it's
Oh,
Adrian.
Adrian Davey.
That's it, Adrian Davey. Yeah,
Yes.
I've been watching a lot of his videos, and he was talking about what routes to go down
Yeah.
and what's best. And obviously, he recommends friendship. Everyone does, and obviously that's what I'm trying to push towards. Yeah, I've been looking at stuff like that as well, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, the resources are there on YouTube. We've spoken about it before on our podcasts, and like we say, there's Gary Hayes, there's Adrian, there's Sparky Ninja, there's Joe Robinson, Craig from Completely Electrical. There's all of that information there, but ultimately you need to kind of be given the opportunity to go out and show the work, don't you, and build your portfolio. So you need the work experience, and if you're saying you're working in a concrete plant, fulfilling the whole requirements of the portfolio is going to be tricky without access to some domestic work, for example. So
Yeah,
that's a real challenge for a lot of people actually going down the NVQ and portfolio route, is having the whole wide range of work environments. So I mean, there's actually employers who are in touch with myself at the minute who was saying they're trying to take apprentices on, but some of the colleges are saying they don't have the varied work roles for them. So it's quite a common thing. And I think the ECA do a little secondment thing where apprentices can kind of move around employers to get a bit of that experience. So maybe that's something we could look at as a wider industry, to give people the opportunity to kind of swap jobs effectively for a period of time to get a bit more experience. Would that help you out if that was an option?
yeah, like it definitely would. Like at the moment, the days that I work is I work 60 to 56 hours a week, Monday to Friday. Start at 6 in the morning, finish about 5. But anyway, I get up at 3:30 in the morning. I have to do my studying every morning. I get up at 3:30, study for an hour. So that's what I'm gonna do before I do anything is I get my book out, my edition. I read it for an hour. I make sure I'm focused on that, focus on like passing all the courses. But yeah, like I would like to have like some weekend work with someone because I'm originally from Birmingham. Okay, accent.
I can hear
Obviously,
that, yeah.
I moved to do you know Leicester, Loughborough?
Yeah, I'm familiar with that area.
Yeah. I've moved to Loughborough, so like I try to make much contact as possible, really. So like I can get like extra work. So someone said, "Oh, um, got weekend work for you, I'd happily do it because then it's my career. It's like
Yeah.
it's what I'm focused on. And like even if it's Saturday or Sunday or something like I could definitely do it because it build up my skills. You know, not just doing just industrial, but I can do other things as well and other things.
Yeah, I mean that's a really good thing for you to be putting yourself forward for. And if there are any employers watching this who are in the Leicester and Loughborough area and you've got a bit of weekend work where Leo could perhaps come down and gain a bit of experience, drop in the comments on this or drop a DM over or reach out to myself or Leo and we can try and see if we can make that happen. You know, it's something that Apprentice 1-to-1 does, you know, as a community try to do, give people opportunities to go and get a bit of experience and work. And you know, there's lots of people in Leo's position. So if you are watching this and you do have the opportunity to even just provide a few hours on a weekend or on an evening or something what people can fit in and around other commitments, and that'd be a really, really useful thing to put yourselves forward for doing. And there is some government support for making that happen as well. So if you're a business, you can apply for grants and funding as part of the T-levels training, for example. There's some of the levy grants you can reclaim, and even if you're taking on an apprentice in full, there's up to £4,000 that you can claim as well up to September this year. So, you know, consider it. There's a whole group of people who are desperate for an opportunity to become electricians. Leo sounds like he's absolutely determined to do it. He's on that path already. You know, you'd be helping somebody out in the next generation. So reach out and if you can offer that role, even if it's just on a short-term basis. So Leo, looking kind of forward for yourself, you've mentioned that you ideally going to get into some sort of management role if you can in the future. So it seems like you've got a little career plan mapped out for yourself already. You know, as you kind of build forward towards that, are you looking to have a business of your own doing that, or is it kind of working as a manager in a different business yourself?
I would like to work as a manager for an electrical company first to see how it's all run, send paperwork done for about a year or two, and then I'd like to set up my own company. And I'd also when I set my own company, I'd like to bring people on like myself who struggle to get into work because like there's loads of people that I wish could help, but I'm not qualified yet. And I haven't got my own company. There's lots of people that think, oh yeah, you can work for me. You know what I mean? But obviously, it's all about experience for me, and that's what I need like the most. You know, like I've been let down in the past by one-man bands, some people that I've worked for before promised me the world. Said, oh yeah, I'll give this and that. And then I worked for them for like 2-3 months, and then I haven't bothered to respond to that sort of thing. Also, I'm interested in doing like competitions as well.
Okay.
But competitions that I've looked at, you have to be like an apprentice. So I'm saying like that's another.
In the traditional sense, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've heard of a guy called Bob Nasida, he runs a few of apprenticeship competitions. And like you say, generally they're in colleges with full-time apprentices. So I know exactly what you mean with wanting to enter and put yourself forward. When you're not on that route, it is quite difficult. And it's no fault of your own that those, you know, positions out there for yourself. That would be really nice, actually, as we move forward to have a few of these competitions. So, I mean, maybe it's something we can look at as industry to set something up where we can have, you know, competitions for people to enter and showcase their skills from backgrounds such as yours.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you were giving advice to your younger self, so say you could go back and speak to an 18, 19-year-old Leah, would you suggest doing an apprenticeship in the traditional way, or would you have carried on the path you're on anyway? What would be the advice to a younger person, or even yourself looking back in time?
Looking back in time, I would have done my GCSEs, all of them, and I would have done my A levels, and I would have done either a traditional apprenticeship or I would have worked, saved, and then did like an evening course, but still do the right path. Because, like, for example, there's some people that I work with at the moment. They're, they're all like older than me, but they haven't got that drive sort of thing, like passion. I don't know whether it's just me or whether it's because they've been there too long. But like some of them, like I speak to them and say, "Oh wow, it's just work." But to me, it's not just work. It's my life. It's good. It's my career. You know, we'll do it every day. Like I'm live and breathe, live and breathe, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's a fantastic mindset as well. And you are right. People do get kind of stuck into a bit of a routine with things when you've qualified and you've got that job and that role already. It's easy to slip into bad habits like that. So yeah, looking at it from your point of view, it must be incredibly frustrating when you're desperate to get there yourself. So you are right. That's an observation that's again fairly common in the electrical industry and other trades as well. It's not just limited to us guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's great that you've got that mindset and drive yourself, and full credit to you. Do you think as an electrical industry we need to look at kind of some of the things that are in place for when you are qualified? So we're talking about the gold card and things. Do you see that as been a worthwhile achievement? Is that something you'd be proud of when you have attained it? Because there's a few people that kind of call that into question as even an achievement, if you like. What's your thoughts on that?
But my thoughts on having a gold card is that's like achievable because from the gold card, sorry, you can move forward onto the management roles. Depending on your background, your experience, you can keep moving forward. You can stop there. You can do like a design course, H&D design course. You know what I mean? Just stop there, sort of thing. And obviously, I know when I get a gold card, I'll be like, I'm very proud of it because like I've worked so hard for it to come, and I'm gonna keep working hard for it. That's what I want to achieve to go to the next step. What I'd like to ask you is, after like the gold card, what type of position could I go into? Is it like manager position or when I say another course? How did it all work? Like, roughly?
Yeah,
Like
I
thinking
mean,
ahead.
your gold card essentially grades you as an approved electrician, so you can go out and work as an everyday electrician. It kind of after you've achieved that, you need a period of maybe 2 to 5 years, depending on your drive and determination, just to kind of build up that skill where you might kind of work towards supervising people on jobs, maybe,
Yeah,
and then you can look towards topping up that training as well, where you could look at your 2391, for example, your inspection and testing, or even your 2396, which is the design courses, and that's a level 4 course, or even things like a HNC or something as well. There's all sorts of different areas you can kind of go off into, but ultimately, if you're moving into a management role, it tends to be more on you as a person. If you start picking up some of these projects and leading a little team just naturally anyway, other people tend to notice that, and they'll see you doing that, and you then can put yourself forward for those roles as they come up. People tend to move around, as these sites open up and close with projects moving along. You can find yourself moving up the chain quite quickly if you've got that determination and drive. And having the gold card and being a qualified electrician is definitely the step towards that. When you're in that position, there's then a black card. I don't know if you're aware of that, but that's the next level up, if you like, on the ECS card scale. So you move from a gold card to a black card, and that's called the management card. So if you're not
yeah, yeah,
actively practicing as an electrician at that point, and you're just supervising teams and managing projects, that's how you can then be graded. There's also, if you want to move into the IET, I don't know if you've heard of them, with the professional registration. So you can register with the IET, and you can work towards things like the electrician's Eng Tech, or even an incorporated engineer and a chartered engineer. There's a career path through there, and that can kind of demonstrate the projects you've worked on and your ability to lead teams and manage projects. So you can kind of show that through professional registration with the IET. And we do actually have an apprenticeship membership at the minute that we're kind of pushing with the IET. So if you wanted to join up as an apprentice, you've got that as well. And that'll open up a world of support through the IET for yourself as well. So they have training that they put on. There's some financial support as well for people if they need it. There's general skills. I mean, you're saying about support to do with your English and your maths. They do things like that as well. There's a big community of people in the IET. I think it's 150,000 people altogether. And, quite a lot of them are apprentices. So that's something to maybe consider as well, Leo, if you're thinking of progressing into a management role as you move your career on, looking at the IET maybe as a route to demonstrate some of your skills and how you want to progress your career.
yeah.
So I mean that's well worth looking into. If you're not aware of it, I'll drop it over on a message after, and you can have a little look at that yourself. One of the questions I do ask a lot of people who come on this podcast, and I'll ask it to you now before we jump back, so I want to talk to you a little bit more about your short course. But what sort of tools would you recommend as a basic setup for an apprentice or an adult learner coming into the industry? Because I get asked this a lot. What's a basic setup that you'd recommend for someone who's wanting to go out onto site and just get involved in a bit of work? Sort of £100 to £200 level. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. If you were looking to do that yourself, what would you be looking at?
I would say look at basic tools like hand tools, screwdriver, hammer, pliers, and say locking off kit. Sorry. Yeah, getting like a tester. Obviously, you know you're going to work in live, but it's always best to practice safe isolation. You need to like I said, it's very important.
That is a great shout, actually, to have a locking off kit and your voltage indicators and proving unit. Great shout, and like you say, basic hand tools is a fantastic thing to have as well. That's a different answer to a lot of people. Most people go straight on the hand tools and the other instruments to offer up a safe isolation kit. That's a great point. Yeah, I fully agree with that. Looking back at the short course route there, can you explain a little bit more? Well, it's not a short course route, but explain a little bit more about how your current training works. So you're saying at the minute you're doing a college evening course, but separating that out at the minute, how's your actual training? How's your actual training take place on this short course? Because you're at work during the day. Are you doing that yourself on an evening, or is it led by a lecturer somehow through the?
Basically, I am with two colleges. One's private, one's my local college, Stevenson College right the corner. The extra college is called New Trades Career. So how it works is to send you like a book like this.
Okay.
And then like you have to read through it and then you do something called TMAs.
Yes.
And then once you do your TMAs, you read the book through all the information, and then you go online, even like an online portal, you type in, and the teacher will check it, and then it will lead up to a mock exam, and then after you pass your mock exam, because all done online.
Yeah.
After you pass your mock exam, they'll invite you into a training centre around the UK, like Huddersfield, Wolverhampton, and they've got Derby.
Okay.
And Dartford. So it's a bit like trade skills.
Yes.
But apart from different routes you can take, they do domestic installer, fully electrician, but to give you 14 months to pass it.
Okay.
But obviously, it's based on like finance.
Yes.
Based like like you take finance out, and you pay like 180 £100 a month for them.
Wow.
For the 40 months, you have to like really like work really.
Yeah.
But how it works is like say like if I get stuck or something, Monday to Friday and weekends I can bring my teacher.
Okay.
But what's really annoying is that when I try to bring my teacher, I get through to like the plumbers,
Right.
or the gas engineers, and I think that's not my teacher. So it's quite difficult communications, which is cool.
Yeah. So it's the learning aspect all on you then, really. So you're given the material, and it's up to you to kind of take it in and absorb it and learn it, and then complete the assessments and the exams. And it's only if you're kind of having difficulty that you get the opportunity to speak to someone about that. They're not actually teaching you over Zoom or anything, and you're not attending a classroom. No, I mean that's actually a really difficult way to learn, to be honest.
The only Zoom, the only recordings that they do is when you go for your practical sessions, which I'm gonna be doing my 2392 inspection and verification, which is level 2.
Okay.
They have got some YouTube videos on it on what to do. So it is to do some stuff online, but it's all the classroom stuff is online basically. It's all I'm going in for now, and I'm on COVID. I'm going for practical weekends, so yeah, it's a bit hard really because when you get stuck, you have to send an email, and then they will call you. So yeah, basically like it's online with weekend practicals.
Yeah, so it's a really powerful experience you've got there, and I imagine there'll be people who might watch this and then they're in a similar position to yourself. So you're actually paying out every month for this learning and this opportunity to qualify, and you're desperate to get a bit of experience and build a portfolio and work towards your gold card. It's just having the opportunity, isn't it, to do it? It must be really, really tough. And hopefully someone who watches this or sees some other posts on social media from myself or other people are going to kind of be able to offer a bit of support and help for people like yourself. They know that's the whole aim of what I've been trying to do over the last year or so.
Yeah, I know.
Just to give people an opportunity.
Yeah, I think what you've done is brilliant. Like how I think I watched one of your first videos and it's like, you know what, it's like another inspiration. Because you didn't know how to use YouTube or anything like and then you started sorry. So you started did all of it, and I was like, yeah, that's really good. Like I do want to have a YouTube channel.
Oh, do
I
you?
do want to,
What's your channel?
yeah. No, sorry, I do want to have one.
Oh, you want to do one? Oh, you should
Yeah, yeah.
do it, mate. Get on board and do
I
it.
want to do one, but the reason I haven't done one yet is because obviously where I work, they're fully with phones. So maybe like if I get some work on the weekends, then I will start recording. I definitely do want to do that. And show everyone my journey and my path I'm going to be taking.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to show other people some of the stuff you're involved with. And like you just said, I knew nothing about how to use YouTube or social media in general. Some of my early YouTubes were absolutely awful from a production point of
Yeah,
view.
you found, didn't you?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
some of the new ones aren't even that brilliant. I try my best, but I encourage everyone, just get out there, show your work, share your experiences. We can all help each other, even if some of the stuff that we're actually talking about isn't how it technically should be. We can all learn and help lift each other up. And just sharing a bit of common experience, it shows that you're not the only person going through that scenario. Because sometimes I imagine, certainly over the last year or so, Leo, you maybe felt like you were the only person in the world who might have been going through some of those struggles, when the reality is there's a lot of others out there really suffering in their learning and trying to get an opportunity to work, and you're not on your own. And the internet and social media gives you that connection with others, doesn't it? I certainly find that anyway.
Yeah, it does. See, at the moment, on social media that I've got LinkedIn. I've got Facebook and Instagram, but not activated at the moment because January I took a break from it all. And I thought I need to concentrate now because June's coming around the corner, and that was my deadline. I was like, I need to concentrate, and I studied on it. I was like, yeah. So the only thing that I've got now at the moment is LinkedIn. Still watch YouTube. Once things start going in properly, I will reactivate them all up. I haven't done it yet. So I took that break, that space.
No, I think everyone gets to that point when you're a bit busy with things in the real world. You have to kind of separate yourself away a little bit as well. And I'll pop if you agree, I'll pop a link in the show notes to this YouTube video to your LinkedIn profile. So if anybody does want to get in touch with Leo and you've got an opportunity for a bit of work for him around Leicester and Loughborough, you can get in touch with him. If not, you can send that message to me and I'll relay that on. Otherwise, I want to thank you, Leo, for coming on and taking the time to share your experiences and have a chat with me, and being patient enough to wait for me to get these back up and running again. You were the first person on the list. There's a few other people as well who've been in a similar kind of situation from when I stopped doing these, and they're going to follow as well. Is there any other questions you want to ask me, or anything you want to say before we finish this off?
There's a couple of questions. Like, how did you like first start? Like, I know you started doing engineering, didn't you? Electrical.
Yes. I mean, I've got a background that kind of comes from electrical engineering and electronics. So I was lucky in the way my career kind of panned out. Anyone who's watched some of the earlier videos, I had exposure to the Ministry of Defence sector, and it kind of had an electrical based work and some electronics within fibre optics and communications and stuff. So I was really, really lucky. I appreciate that not everybody gets that kind of opportunity and experience. That's kind of my background. I've got a bit of a mixture of both elements there.
And how did you do you work with any other any other electricians? Like any other? Have you worked with any other electricians? I know you work. I think you work with Sam.
No, Sam's wants to come and work with us on a few bits and pieces. He's itching to come up and do a bit of work with us. I run my own small business, so I employ a few electricians in my company. I work with other electricians in my local area, so we kind of have a community where we help each other out. If a big job comes up or something and we need a bit of manpower on it, we all kind of share the work out amongst each other. More across the UK, I do subcontracting to other electrical companies as well via my own. So, I am in and around other electricians fairly often in the day job. And, that's something I try and encourage other small employers to do is reach out in there. Sometimes it seems like other electrical contractors are the competition and you shouldn't have anything to do with them, but it's actually not like that. You can help each other out. You can tender for bigger works together. You can build that solid network. So if you're a little bit quiet for work, you've got someone you can ask who might need an extra pair of hands. And you're trying to do that in your way right now, Leo, maybe without even realizing in trying to build up some network of people you can work for on a weekend. As your kind of career progresses, you will have those people in your network who you can reach out to in the future who might be able to help you out, and you can return that favor back to them as well. So I do work with other electricians.
How would I go obviously because I'm not qualified, and obviously there is good people that I do want to work with, like other YouTubers that I do want to work with. Sorry, because I watch them, I think, oh yeah, I want to work. How do I go about working with other electricians? Obviously, like I'm an electrician, mate. I'm not qualified just yet. But how do I go about it? How do I go about working with other
Yeah.
YouTubers? What would you recommend that I do?
I mean, that's just making the approach to them. I guess it's a difficult one because if you imagine someone like Nick Bundy or Jordan or Tom Nagy, for example, they probably have thousands of people asking them if they can come and work with them. So
Yeah,
it's a difficult one. It's trying to stand out a little bit, I guess, if that's your goal. If you wanted to come up and do a little bit of work with us at some stage, that would never be a problem. I'd be happy to do that. But yeah, it's just getting that communication with them, I guess, and building a bit of a rapport. So you could try following them on social media and joining in on the comments on some of their videos and posts that they make, and see if you can build a bit of a to and fro in the comments section, and then maybe put yourself forward for doing a bit of work with them. Maybe some of the influencers on social media, if that's what we're going to call them, might want to look at doing something like that. If they get a big job on, inviting some apprentices down to come and spend the day working with them. As the COVID rules hopefully relax. I mean, that's a big block to any of this at the minute. If
yeah,
they
yeah,
if they relax, then perhaps if any of them have a big job on, they could have a bit of an open day or something. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. But sharing that experience out amongst other people is a really powerful thing, and it's a great suggestion. I don't see any reason why somebody wouldn't want to do it. But it's organising it, I guess, and there'll be a lot of people like you who would be desperate to go and have that experience as well. So
yeah,
it's a difficult one. I don't really know how to actually make that happen for you, other than to offer it myself.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think you've answered all my questions. I think yeah, big answer. I think really like actually, yeah, there is one more actually.
Yeah, fire away, mate.
Well, it's about me, but obviously
Yeah,
the
yeah,
question
go for it.
basically what it is um during my obviously my short course, gonna get that finished. Um, also do my evening course in the evenings, Monday and Tuesday,
Brilliant.
doing my maths and English level one. But I've got to get up to level two, and I've also been offered a place to start my level two September coming.
Okay.
But I have to pass my level two before that time.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a tricky one, but the company I work for now at the moment, I'm not saying that they're funny, but like I've tried to ask my apprenticeship, and they were saying that why would they offer me apprenticeship because I'm of that age? It's a bit difficult.
Yeah.
Would you say that I was like I go to college, I still go to college, or would you say that I just continue with my training provider and just work that way?
It's a really difficult one for someone in your situation, Leo. It really, really is, and I sympathise massively. It's hard to really give the right answer to that. But if you're going to go to college, you need that employer. I mean, you're saying you don't mind taking the reduction in your wages to go through that process. So if you're prepared to commit to that, because obviously the apprenticeship wages are a little bit lower than what you might earn as an electrician's mate, for example, certainly in the first year. It's
Yeah,
having that discussion with your employer. As we said earlier on in this podcast, there are some grants that are available to them. So I don't know the size of your employer, but if they're a reasonably big company, they probably pay into the levy system. So they'll be able to draw down on some funding from that as well, which would help cover the cost of your training and some of your wages. There's also the government COVID grant for hiring apprentices. So that's a possibility as well. But it's having them willing to have that discussion with you. If you're saying that they're not really open to it anyway, you
but I
can't.
did have that discussion with them when I
Yeah,
first started because in my CV I put the levy grant in like a link
yeah,
in my in my CV, and when they rang me and I spoke to face to face, said I could often work, but they weren't able to offer me an apprenticeship. Sort of
okay.
thing. As my heart is still going towards. I still want to try and get an apprenticeship, no matter how long it takes. Like that's the best route
Yeah,
for
I mean,
me.
you're on the path already with your evening courses and your short courses. You might as well see that through while you're doing it. And if you can complete the portfolio separately to that and get the right experience and get your gold card and pass your AM2, that's an industry entrance point at the end of the day. You will have satisfied the requirements to qualify as an electrician. If you can convince your current employer to give you that apprentice role and go to college, and some colleges will transfer over some of your existing qualifications as well as part of the apprentice framework. So it's not always a case of starting from scratch. There's a reasonable chance some of what you've done already will have crossed over, and you'll be able to kind of get through it a little bit quicker in a legitimate way. So that's worth speaking with your local college as well. So if you're already there on an evening, it's worth having a chat with them about that to see how, you know, they would feel based on what you've been doing in the private college as well. And then ultimately, I guess, have that discussion again with your current employer, see if they would be open to that. I mean, you can't make them at the end of the day, can you? But all you can do is ask the question. And in terms of trying to find other employment somewhere else for an apprentice role, is all I can say at the minute is really, really difficult. There's just in Apprentice 1-to-1, there's over 1,000 people right now who are desperate to get a job as an apprentice, and the roles aren't there. That's the sad answer. You know, so if you've got an opportunity where you can perhaps make that happen for yourself within the company you're at now, you know, press at that if you can, is my advice.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you know, thanks again for coming on for the chat. I'm going to put this together and get it out as quickly as I can, because I think this is an important podcast to share with other people. You've raised a lot of great points, and your experiences will resonate with a load of other people. I know they will. And I will, as I say, if you're happy to do so, I'll share your details in the YouTube video as well. And when you get started up on YouTube, let us know, and we will talk about you on our channel as well, and help you build an audience of your own. I'll certainly follow and subscribe to you and your activities. And if I can get you to come and do some work with us, we're actually in and around your area on occasions doing work, but it would be during the week. But I'm sure we can maybe get something, you know, synced up where we could perhaps get together and do a day's work with each other, and maybe even record it for YouTube. It'd be brilliant to meet face to face at some point. And at the very least, if you're not already attending, there's the Electricians at the end of September. I think it's the 29th or 30th of September, and that's in Coventry. So that's not a million miles from you. And that's close. 2-day trade show. So if you're free to come and join us there, there's the whole load of us from Apprentice 1-to-1 and other places all attending. And it'd be fantastic to see you there.
Yeah, definitely.
Otherwise, thanks for joining me, Leo. It was great chatting with you. I'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening and catch up with the family and whatnot. Thanks for taking time out for talking, and I'll hopefully speak to you again soon.
Thank you again. Thank you very much.
All right. Cheers, mate. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.